Hey everyone, Frank Honus here with you guys this week with just a few thoughts about recovery for you on Wednesday, midweek, some midweek thoughts. So I was talking to a guy this week on the phone, and we were talking a little bit about the process of recovery and the importance of having people totally surrounding you in life and walking with you, safe people. And I kind of got this thought last night as I was just kind of thinking and about this whole conversation that walking in recovery, walking in sexual purity and sexual recovery. If you're walking out of an addiction, if you don't have safe people in your life, if you don't have accountability partners and support partners and coaches and all those kinds of people in your life, it's literally like walking up a hill, like trying to walk uphill blindfolded. I mean, it's nearly impossible. Or walking backwards uphill blindfolded. It's just it makes no sense whatsoever. It's so incredibly impossible to do, and it just doesn't make sense. And so don't recover alone. If you're walking in a season right now where you're trying to get your sea legs a little bit, you're kind of getting your bearings as far as sexual purity. If you're coming out of a sexual addiction, if you're coming out of a pornography addiction, don't try to do it by yourself. Get people in your life, healthy people, safe people. And it doesn't have to be 100 people. It can be 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 people, but as many as possible. And they need to be safe. They need to be mature. They need to be willing to know your story, to encourage you, to love on you. So important. If I've learned anything after almost 7 years of in recovery from a sexual addiction myself, it's that I would not be at the place that I'm at right now if I didn't have people in my life, if I didn't have if I didn't have coaches, if I didn't have accountability partners, if I didn't have brothers fighting alongside of me in this battle for sexual purity. And so you just got to have it. It's so important. And don't go at this thing alone. Make sure that you have people in your life that care about you, that you can call. I mean, literally people that you can call when you're struggling. In that very moment where you feel compelled, you feel a compulsion, you feel a pull to look at something, to look at porn, to act out, to go to that place, that well. You need to call someone. You need to text someone. You need to get a hold of somebody that can encourage you, because that place of isolation, that place of being alone, is incredibly lonely, and it's hard to pull yourself out by yourself. I would venture to say that it's really impossible to walk this journey by ourselves alone in the battle and win and be victorious and be healthy and be whole. We can't do it by ourselves. And so that's kind of what the title of this little mini Periscope is don't recover alone. Don't do it, because quite honestly, you won't be doing it very long. And I'm not trying to be negative or condescending or anything, but I've known so many guys that try to just go at it by themselves. They try to white knuckle it, and then it's really not long after they do that they're back into their addiction. They're struggling again. They've had a relapse, and oftentimes there's just a kind of a decline, in their progress. So it really goes back to being transparent. It really goes back to opening your life and sharing your story with people that love you. And I know you can find it. Start with your church. Start with your, I would even say start with someone safe, in your family. Start with someone, who maybe a coworker that you trust, but certainly somebody maybe is in a Bible study, or like I said, somebody, a pastor, or, if you have to, find a counselor for a season, find a therapist for a season that can kind of walk you through this journey. I mean, if you have to pay someone for a season of your life to help you and to communicate with you, then you have to do it. You have to do what you have to do. So that is my encouragement to you today: is don't recover alone. Don't expect to. I don't know if I want to say this to that. Don't expect the kind of progress, the kind of growth that you can make in your life, as if by yourself, than if you were to have people in your life, if you were to have safe people in your life. At this place in my life, at almost year 7 of recovery, I have 3 to 4 people that I call coaches in my life, that I know that I can call up, that I know I can text, that I know I can, talk to and share my struggles with, and, including my wife, which I'm very thankful for, and I know that's not always an option for everyone. So I just encourage you guys to remember that this week, kind of in the middle of the week here, thinking about some things that your progress and your growth in recovery will incredibly excel when you have safe, healthy people in your life. So don't recover alone, and just make sure that that you do that you're not by yourself. So I want to encourage you guys to go over to my website, purityforlife.me is the website, purityforlife.me. Got some great content over there to help you with your sexual purity journey. If you have struggled with pornography or masturbation or affairs, your sexuality, this is an incredibly passionate area of mine, and it's born out of my own story. So purityforlife.me is the website, and lots, like I said, some great content over there. There's this week's podcast, which is up there on triggers, part 1 of our series on triggers, learning what triggers are. And this week we focus in on biological triggers. Just published a blog today from XXX Church, a link to their blog on virtual reality porn, VR porn, which is a real thing. And as technology advances, so does the exploitation of sexuality in that, and so that's what's happening. And so, very interesting article. I'd encourage you to check out, to just be aware of what's coming in our future when it comes to technology. So, and all kinds of other stuff up there. All the archives and links back to the very first episode of the Purity for Life podcast, which was actually the Pure Life podcast at that point. So, all right. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week and great evening and excellent weekend. Hope to see you this weekend for this week is Easter. So wish you guys a happy Easter as we just remember and we reflect and we celebrate the death and resurrection of our Lord, and just so thankful for that today. So reach out to me if you need me. purityforlife.me is the website. All kinds of links on there. You can contact me through the website there, and Twitter, Facebook, all the social media, social networks, and I would love to connect with you on that level. So thanks so much. Have a great week. God bless.